Wagwan people, welcome back to the channel. You know it's your boy Gunter from Guntertainment, and what is happening today is that we're reacting to the Reggae Boyz squad that has been officially been picked by Coach Steve McLaren, and this is the last qualifying window, so it's a do or die situation for the Reggae Boyz, and we'll get the job done. Regardless, whatever we need to do, however we need to get it done, but we need to get the job done. So the squad have a new face, some familiar face as well, and we have some big questions to ask. So make sure you guys like, subscribe. Don't be afraid to drop your opinions and your thoughts in the comments below, and tell me if you agree, if you like this squad, if you agree with the players that has been picked or not. So let's jump into it. Let's start between the sticks. There's no new faces here. The regular keepers that have been with us during the qualifiers, they remain the same, which is Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, and Tafari Chambers. As I said, they are the usual picks for the Reggae Boyz. However, we all know by now that once Andre Blake is fit, then he's almost an automatic pick and a starter in this Reggae Boy squad, because the guy is unbelievable. He's very solid, very rock solid between the sticks. As I've said it before, and I'll say it again, he's the best in terms of shot stopper in our region, no doubt. And he can go up against the best keepers in terms of and shot stopping. That's my opinion. He's one of the best for me. All right, and then now let's look at the back line. We have Joel Latibodier, Ethan Pinnock, Richard King, Dexter Lambesica, Greg Late, Damian Lowe, Meso Holgate, Ian Frey, and the newcomer Rico Henry. This is a solid mix of experienced defenders. Ethan Pinnock and Richard King, they played the last qualifiers and they were excellent at the back. Can work on a few things, but they did well. We can see that a partnership is building between these two, so it is very important that we continue with these two at the center back, because we can see that a partnership is building there, and in every team you want to have a good partnership, especially at the center back position. You don't want to be chopping and changing your center back pairings too often. So Richard King and Ethan Pinnock, they will bring the steel at the back. Rico Henry, very pacey, and he'll give quality going forward. Rico Henry also is a good addition to the squad because Amari Bell is injured at the moment, so he comes in for Amari Bell at the left back position. We cannot forget though that Greg Lay has been very excellent and outstanding for the Reggae Boyz. Whenever he plays, he gives his all. He's very good going forward, and he'll probably keep his place in the squad. And he got called up again, and that's good thumbs up there in terms of selection. I like him in the team. I prefer Amari Bell a little bit because he's very solid defensively, but nonetheless, Greg Lay is very good. He has been doing well for the Reggae Boyz so far. As I said earlier in the video, Rico Henry is the new face. This is his first call up for the Reggae Boyz squad, and he's not playing a lot though for Brentford, but we hope that he can come in, had his quality and his Premier League experience to this squad, and we can get through this qualifying round. He has been played with injuries, so maybe that's the reason why he hasn't been starting a lot. And Mason Holgate and Damian Lowe, they are very reliable as ever for this Reggae Boy squad. So their inclusion is no, they are no stranger to this Reggae Boy squad. Good inclusion for me. Moving on to the midfield. The midfield is very light. It's five-man midfield. In terms of numbers, the midfield is very light. The midfielders that were selected are Isaac Hayden, Bobby Reed, Jonathan Russell, Kirai Anderson, and Joshan Anglin. So they keep their spot because they were included in the last qualifiers, and they kept their spot in this selection as well. Not a bad pick. It's a good mixture of youth and experience in there. Bobby Reed, for me, you know that he's an automatic starter. He brings a little bit of creativity and leadership in that midfield. Isaac Aiden as well. He's very tall, physical. We need that coverage in front of the back line. So we need that security in front of the back line, and he will bring that as well. As for Kirai Anderson and Joshan Anglin, their youthfulness and energy, we'll need that in the latter stages of games where we need some more energy, some more bite in the middle of the park, and they are very much capable of doing that. But one question for me, and that is, we are still missing that pure creative midfielder in the middle of the park. That midfielder, that person that is very good on the ball, can dictate play, will find himself in good position to pick up the ball and give us those penetrative pass in the opponent's backline for our wingers and our strikers to get in on goal. We're still missing that kind of creative midfielder in this squad. Maybe we don't have him, or maybe that player is not performing at the level that they are supposed to be performing, so they didn't get the call up. The likes of Tyreek McGee, that is a player that is very promising, was very promising for Jamaica, but we don't know what's happening with him, and he has not been selected, so we don't know. Yeah, so that is my concern as it relates to the midfield. We have been struggling in midfield in terms of numbers and individual personnel in terms of that creative midfielder. And it's a bit worrying because the midfield was a bit empty when Isaac Hayden is not there. So we probably need a backup in that area. Maybe Ian Frey, maybe Damian Lowe will be able to do a job there if called upon. Who knows? But this is what these are the players that were selected, so we're working with them. And the coach must know why he chooses that team, why he selected that team. So that is my criticism of the selection, and let's move on. I want to also mention that Casey Palmer is missing from this midfield. He's the one that I think is one of our better players, one of our better midfielders, that on his day he can dictate the game, he can run a game with his quality and ability on the football. And he did well the last window, especially in that final game. He was basically running the show at the National Stadium, but unfortunately he got injured. but we haven't replaced him. We haven't had a replacement of that type of player like Casey Palmer. Maybe Kyle Dixon or even Dujuan Richards. Maybe they will be able to do a job there in that number 10 position. They're a different profile of player from Palmer, but I think they will be able to probably do a job there if called upon. I think they have the ability and the quality to do a job there in that number 10 position. I personally wanted to see Tyrese Hall. I hear in the people are asking, what about Tyrese Hall? Why is he not gotten a call up for the Reggae Boyz squad? I saw some clips of him, but it doesn't tell the whole picture. So I wanted him to get the call personally so I could watch him play to give to see a good assessment how he give an account for himself, what type of midfielder is he, and essentially bring or can bring to this Reggae Boyz squad. But he didn't get the call up, so I guess I don't know if he'll ever get the call up for this for the World Cup, but who knows? Let's see. And as I said, there was no natural central or attacking midfielder who came in to replace Casey Palmer. So maybe the likes of Demarai Gray, maybe he will be the one to play that Casey Palmer role in the Reggae Boyz squad. Since Ronaldo Cephas is doing so well for the national team, Demarai Gray has been put in the middle of the park in that attacking midfield role to do a job there. He hasn't been bad. The last time he played for Jamaica, he and Ronaldo Cephas was on the field at the same time, and for some reason we couldn't get the ball to either of them, and they were our two dangerous players on the field on that day. So I would like to see how they'll get that chemistry working between Ronaldo Cephas and Demarai Gray when both of them is on the field at the same time. Also, I want to mention that Leon Bailey is absent again. In the coach press conference, he said he was very itching to join the squad. However, he got a muscle injury in Roma, and unfortunately, they have to assess him, and hopefully he can link up with the team at a later date. Maybe not for the first game, but maybe for the final game. So he's probably on standby on a wait and see perspective to see if he'll be okay to essentially meet up with the team and maybe play a part in the World Cup qualification. So he's missing. He's a big miss. He haven't been really producing or performing when he plays for Jamaica, but he's a quality player. No doubt he's a quality player. And he's gonna be a big miss for this Reggae Boyz squad. So now it's the sweet part. It's the forward line. And this is where things get a little bit spicy. Alright, so this is the list of players that were selected for the forward options. We have Bailey Tai Kadamateri, Shamar Nicholson, Ramon Borrell, Demarai Gray, Kyle Dixon, Dujuan Richards, Tyrese Campbell, and my striker, Werner Brown. That is my striker. Zane, he has been very prolific. He has been very good for Jamaica when he came in. He scored some amazing goals for Jamaica, and I want him to carry on this form that he's on. He's probably going to be the one to surpass Shamar Nicholson at the rate at which he's going, because he's been doing very well for Jamaica whenever he plays, and I personally like him as a forward. He has good run, good off the ball movement. He can hold up the ball, and he has a good shot on him. And he can finish. So he has all the qualities of a good striker. He's probably not big and strong, but when you as a midfielder pick up the ball and you see a striker like Werner Brown, you want to give him that ball because he's making those runs, and midfielders love runners. So I think he's going to do well. And of course, we know that Ronaldo Cephas and Demarai Gray, was talking about them earlier. They are the danger man for this team. Very dangerous. But don't forget Bailey Ty and Roman Borrell. They have been playing a lot of minutes for their club. Roman Borrell is very hot at the moment. As I heard the coach said, when he's hot, get them in. And he's so right because Roman Borrell is really, really having a good game for his club. And hopefully he can get a look in for this Jamaica team because he also plays as behind the striker for his club in games when they need him to, because he's scoring goals at the moment for fun. So it's interesting to see what the coaching staff of Jamaica will do when they have so many quality strikers competing for that one striker position, and how are they going to incorporate and fit them in the squad to, and who will complement each other. It's a it's a good headache for the coaching staff to have because our strikers are doing very well. Unfortunately, Trevante Stewart has been left out of the squad. He's doing excellent as well, and a lot of persons are saying, why is he not in the Reggae Boy squad? The coaches have their choices why he's not there, and we can't do much than just support what the coaching staff, the selection that the coaching staff has make. But everyone is hitching for Trevante Stewart to be a part of this squad. They don't. The coach said he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to doing too much chopping and changing of personnel in the squad, but we don't know the selection system in which they are using, because if it's based on players that are on form, then he should have been picked because he's very much red hot at the moment, scoring a lot of goals. Maybe 8 goals in 8 games so far. He's gone. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not sure, but that is what I think. That's how much goal I think he has scored so far this season. And of course, we cannot end this video without mentioning Dujuan Richards. He has been doing well for the Chelsea under 23 team, playing a very important role. They're still monitoring his minutes. As we all know, he had a terrible injury and has just been recovering from his injury. The last time when he got selected for the squad in place of Demarai Gray because he got injured, he did well. This is the young baller that everyone is looking out for, and he did not disappoint when he came on for the Reggae Boyz. My overall thoughts are the selection is not a bad selection, to be honest, because the squad has players that can play multiple positions. So I'm kind of getting an understanding of why the coach made this selection, mixing in the season pros with the next generation, and it's not looking too bad. As I said, the only question mark that I have is the midfield, and there's depth in every position excluding the midfield. That's the only position that doesn't have the depth that we'll probably need. But as I said, there are players that can play in multiple positions, including the midfield. So maybe that's the reasoning behind this selection. So that's my reaction to this Reggae Boyz selection. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who deserves a call up that didn't make it? Who are you excited to see the most? And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, drop your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you on another one.